We are finally in 2024. The Nintendo Switch is now almost 7 years old, and now that it is one of my favorite consoles of all time, there are some weaker years in between. However, that was certainly not noticeable last year. In 2023, we got major releases such as Super Mario Bros. Wonder, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and the return of Pikmin with Pikmin 4. Some people are even saying that 2023 is the best year of the Nintendo Switch yet, since the launch year of the Nintendo Switch back into 2017. And visually, I can see that in a way. I've never played so much on the Nintendo Switch in a year, even though most of them were older releases, but oh no, we really got bangers this year. For these reasons, I'd like to reflect on a year full of banger games for the Nintendo Switch, and to see if this is the most fun and successful year for the Nintendo Switch yet game-wise. Before we look at whether 2023 is absolutely magnificent or dog shit, we can take a look back at the previous years. Let's start with the launch year of the Nintendo Switch 2017. This is still one of the best years for the Nintendo Switch. We got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is absolutely phenomenal, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. But also new IPs like Snipper Clips and ARMS, which haven't gotten a sequel yet. I also think that because this was the first year with the Switch and we were still used to the Wii U, it was just so refreshing to see a whole new console which performed a little better than the Wii U. 2018 was a little weaker compared to 2017, but there were still some super good games. We got DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Splatoon 2 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We also got a few ports of several classics. We got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker originally from the Wii U and one of my favorite games on the Wii, Go Vacation. What a banger. Furthermore, we didn't really get any new games until very late in the year. We got Super Mario Party like in October, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and the biggest game of 2018, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. 2019 was another solid year for the Nintendo Switch in my opinion. We got a new title for the Yoshi franchise, Yoshi's Crafted World, Super Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Astral Chain, Luigi's Mansion 3, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and to end the year, we also got Pokemon Sword and Shield. From these games, my favorite has to be Fire Emblem Three Houses. I needed to get used to the whole school mechanic, but oh, the game is such a banger. The story is so good and the game is so good. Of course, we all know what happened in 2020. Luckily, Animal Crossing New Horizons came out at the perfect time. This year we also got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Paper Mario the Origami King, Super Mario 3D All-Star and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I think this is the weakest year for the Switch so far, but that is of course very understandable. The lockdown has caused many Nintendo projects to be postponed or even cancelled, but they did release a handful of good games, mainly Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think Animal Crossing New Horizons is the Nintendo Switch game I have the most memories of. And I need to say, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is maybe my personal favorite out of the year. Animal Crossing New Horizons is just so nostalgic already and it's so good. In 2021 we received quite a few ports, including Super Mario 3D World, but now with the new Bowser's Fury. We also got Miitopia and Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, which I really enjoyed. We also got a new Pokemon Snap, Mario Golf Super Rush, WarioWare Get It Together, Metroid Dread, Mario Party Superstars, and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think this was a pretty solid year, but there are better years for sure. 2022 was once again a really strong year. We started with Pokemon Legends Arceus, which in my opinion is the best Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. We also got Kirby and Forgotten Land, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Splatoon 3, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We also received the Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and a few games that we were less pleased with. 2022 is by far one of my favorite years. Heck, we got Bidoo's Big Stand. Now that we covered all of the previous years for the Nintendo Switch, we can really start with last year. For 2023, we received many different games for the Nintendo Switch. In total, we received 2,259 different games this year. From Tears of the Kingdom to Fire Emblem Engage, and from Super Mario RPG to Smurfs 2. Of course, everyone has their own taste and everyone likes different games. For example, some only bought maybe The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because Breath of the Wild is one of their favorite games and it was life-changing. And others haven't bought anything at all this year and are playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate since 2018 non-stop. It's possible. However, I think with last year's lineup, there was a game for everyone. For example, we immediately received a major game release in January, Fire Emblem Engage. Now that Fire Emblem Engage has been less well received than the previous release in the franchise, Fire Emblem Three Houses, it's still a good game in my opinion. The game got a Metacritic score of 80 and a user score of 6.6, which I can understand. Unfortunately, the game is a bit of a downgrade from Fire Emblem Three Houses, mainly with story and characters. The story is really a downgrade compared to that of Fire Emblem Engage, which is a shame. The characters are also less recognizable, which is also a shame. But the development team of Fire Emblem Engage, they wanted to focus on the gameplay itself, which has improved from Fire Emblem Three Houses. So all in all, I really enjoyed this game, even though there are a few things Nintendo could have done differently, but I really like the game and I really want to start the DLC story someday. After Fire Emblem Engage, we got a decent amount of new games, Metroid Prime Remastered and Kirby's Adventure Return to Dreamland. I actually didn't buy Metroid Prime Remastered. Most of the times I'm not a Metacritic guy, but this game has a 94 score at Metacritic and I think it is a must play. I also haven't played Kirby's Adventure Return to Dreamland Deluxe that much, but I would like to pick it up again someday. Then we got Bayonetta Origins in March and Advance Wars 1+2 in April. But then, in late April, we got a trailer for the DLC side story of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeem. And oh my god, when the DLC story came out, I played it for 16 hours straight until I finally finished the DLC story in one day. And it was so nice to see old places again, like Prison Island and even Origin, because it is technically from the base game. I felt it was just the perfect ending for the Class trilogy. I can't wait to see what Monolith Soft is cooking right now, because I know they are going to develop another banger of a game and I want to play it. This would have been my game of the year actually, if it wasn't for the next one on the list. I think most of us were excited for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, including myself. The game was announced in 2019 during E3 as the sequel to Breath of the Wild. From the first trailers, I already thought this would be my game of the year, but when the game came out, I only played it for 20 hours. I only beat this game in like October-ish, and it was so good. And I've really liked the new abilities, especially the fuse ability, because it creates so many different possibilities. At the beginning of the game, I was actually more of a fan of Breath of the Wild, because of, I think, nostalgic reasons. But when I almost finished the game, I changed to Tears of the Kingdom purely for the story, because I watched these memories and what the hell, this was just by far my favorite game that came out last year. The gameplay, the story, it's just so strange to realize that after 4 years of waiting, we finally can play this game whenever we want. We got the next mainline game in July with Pikmin 4. This was actually my first Pikmin game, and strangely enough, I really enjoyed it, because I wasn't going to buy it myself, but I got it as a gift. I haven't finished the game yet, but I really enjoyed it so far, and I'm certainly not the only one, because my TikTok feed said otherwise. Furthermore, we didn't really get a lot of Nintendo mainline games this summer. Okay, we didn't really get a lot of good Nintendo mainline games this summer, but there is one indie game that got my attention, and that was Sea of Stars. I still really want to play this game. The game looks so good and I'm very curious about the story and everything about it. In the last half of the year we got several games, such as WarioWare Move It, Super Mario RPG and of course Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We finally got a new 2D Mario Bros. Game and oh, it was so peak. Mario Bros. Wonder, you can just tell that Nintendo put their whole heart into this game. The game introduced 3 new power-ups, which one is an elephant. All kinds of new enemies, which I really was surprised about, and a completely different aesthetic and game direction from its predecessors. The game also sort of has an online multiplayer mode and it has the most characters of a Super Mario Bros. Game to date. This has to be my favorite Super Mario Bros. Game. I really like the one on the DS and I really like the one on the Wii, but this game is just so good. Okay, I almost forgot this one. We also got the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. I actually have beaten Part 1 and Part 2 really recently, and I am a Gen 5 enjoyer, so I was happy. Right now, I'm really into shiny hunting as a whole, and it's still going quite well actually, thanks to these terrible sandwiches. In terms of games and DLC, This is certainly one of the stronger years of the Switch. Personally, not my favorite year, but still a very steady year. If I had to rank them, I think 2023 is the second best year for the Nintendo Switch, with of course the launch year of the Nintendo Switch at number 1. Will this year be better than 2023? Probably not. I think 2024 will be worse in terms of games. The lineup so far looks less good than this year's, but we also just know about like 4 games, and 3 of the 4 being ports, remakes. Of course, they can announce a lot more at the Nintendo Direct in February, June or September, but I think they will mainly focus on the next console now, and maybe it's going to release this year, maybe we get an announcement this year, maybe we can rot after almost 7 years. It is really time for a new console. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking the video, and hopefully till the next video. Bye!